Howdy everyone, Frankie here, New West Reset. Hello, how's it going? Thank you very much for joining me here today. I've got another boots on the ground for you, and I'm very disappointed to see this. I was actually just on my way home from the post office, sending out a New West Reset t-shirt. On my way home, I'm at the Danish Canadian Club, and I saw the scaffolding, and the tarp, and everything all closed off, construction site. I walked up, asked a very kind gentleman working on site, "What's going on there, buddy? Tearing her down or doing a reno?" He says, these were his words, "Tearing it down, unfortunately." So even some of these guys in the construction or destruction business, maybe not fans of the teardowns. So I thought what I would do here today is take some video of this thing before it is gone. Gone. Stick around. I'll be right back. About a heaven in Alberta, where they've got all hell for a basement. Alright, so this building is just off of 11th Avenue and 7th Street Southwest. As mentioned, it is it's the Danish Canadian Club, the former Danish Canadian Club. And as you can see, it's all done up, covered in schmutz and stucco, made to look like an old-timey Swiss or Danish something building. I've been in here a couple of times for different musical shows, art shows, stuff like that there. It's a shame, you know. I think this building has been around a long time. In fact, I think it was something before it was the Danish Canadian Club. I'm not entirely sure, but let's just scrutinize this a little bit. Of course, you've got the gray phony foundation covered in schmutz there, and there's like a little ventilation thingy going on right there. Air exchange or vent of some kind. And then right here, look, you bust away that schmutz and that wooden detail, and you've got some red brick peeking out from under there. So that's very interesting. Hello. Ah, nice. Red brick. I think the other side, which has additional parking, I think you can actually see the red brick, although it's been painted this same sort of yellowy beige color. But yeah, this is a bummer. You can see the brick chimney up there, a big brick chimney on it, and cedar shingles. So, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna just keep it rolling, and I'm just gonna walk along 11th Avenue here. We've got a portion of it closed off for the construction. So you can see they've got their plywood hoarding up, and they've got a bunch of tarps and everything set up there. That's why originally I thought, well, maybe they're just doing a reno on it, refacing her, doing a facade or a paint job, or bashing off all the old stucco or schmutz. But no, they're knocking it down. Yeah, that's what I thought. You can see, let me just get realigned here. You can see there's all the red brick that was exposed on the other side. Hey boy! Hello? Got a delivery for you? Unfortunately, his delivery is not beer, though. It's almost Miller time for you guys. Yeah, go back and get the beer, bud. What's up? Oh man, they're really boarding this thing up. They're gonna make quick work of this thing. I imagine because the weather is half decent today. Today is February the 26th, and it's right around 0 Celsius, which isn't bad. It's, 32 Fahrenheit, something like that. So the snow's melting, And so I guess as long as the weather holds up, these guys are going to be hard at it. So I'm guessing probably by June at the very latest, she's going to be gone. See, there's that, often we see that too, that roof detail, right, where it steps down a few times. I've always wondered about that. I wonder if it's because the roof is slightly angled to shed moisture or something. I don't know, I'm just guessing on that one. I couldn't tell you for sure. It looks like I may be able to access a little bit from the back alley because there are apartments on the other side of the alleyway. And they've got to be able to access their parking and so on. So I'm thinking if I scooch down a half block and kind of sneak in from the alley, I might be able to have a look at this thing from another angle as well. So hang tough just a moment, stick around and I'll be right back. All right, and here we are. I'm just in the back alley now, the back lane in between 11th Avenue and 12th Avenue Southwest. Yeah, I can see a lot more from back here. Ain't that usually the case, folks? So it looks like there were some openings here that they've actually bricked in before they even painted it with this weirdo color. You can see a little bit right there. Looks like there was another one. It's kind of hard to spot, but right about there where that red graffiti is. So probably there were rows of windows running all along this thing, and eventually some were bricked in or cinder blocked off and painted over. Probably, I would imagine, the same back here. Oh yeah, for sure there, but got something down here, a door here, a bunch of windows up along the top there, rows of windows. The lighting isn't the best. A little bit of overcast today. And oh, good. They put some redneck skylights up there too. What old worlder would be complete without a set of crappy glass cubes? Man, they really goofed around with this thing in the back. Looks like there was a huge point of entry here that they just cinder blocked in and then just ended up putting in windows and doors. That eventually those are all blocked off too. Oh, more redneck skylight with a vent in it. Perfect. Yeah, I think this is an old worlder that was repurposed a couple of times, one of which was the Danish Canadian Club. Another landmark going the way of the dodo, unfortunately. What a shame, you know? You can still see a bit of the remnants of the knob and tube wiring, the old electrical up there. There's no wire left, but the insulators are still there. I mean, she's old enough where they put in all the electrical conduit on the outside of the building and then just punched holes in the brick to gain access to the interior of the place. Plumbing, venting, everything runs on the outside of the building. So probably built before, you know, electricity and internal plumbing. It's just a guess. Got some crappy vinyl siding here. Yeah, it looks like there's been some additions, some goofing around, and some monkeying around on it. When I get home, I'm going to look it up online and see what they're telling us the build date is on this thing. I imagine there might even be some information as to whether or not there were some renovations. All right, I'm going to run across the street and get one last sort of wide shot of this thing from an angle where we can see it pretty good, and then that's going to do it. So one more moment and I'll be right back. I won't put you on camera, but so you're saying it was originally built in 1912-ish?
Yeah, and I believe at one point it was the Calgary bus barns.
Oh, okay.
And my understanding was also originally, I think it was like a carriage / automotive shop.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, the original building's quite a bit narrow. This is all addition.
Yeah. That looks like it's been punched out this way,
yeah.
and
yeah,
probably
actually, I think the original wall is like that underneath there,
Right.
And then it goes to where you can see on the other side where the roof
Where the
comes down there.
yeah, and where the brick sort of
it's
ends.
all like post and beam and old timber construction. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Do you know where the old Smith Hill built hat building is on 10th Ave there?
Yeah.
They're working on the inside of that right now too, and they've taken out all the old windows, and they put mesh like this in there, so you can look in and you can see the timber beams up top. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It looks like a ship, actually.
Like, you know, like that.
Yeah.
Stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, like.
And to think, you know, like 1912 or whatever when they built it, that was all horses and like pulleys and
Yeah. They didn't have. Yeah, it was all just hoists and pulleys. No cranes even yet. They had steam cranes, but that would have like CP Rail would have owned it. So they would have had to have run a rail here temporarily just to get us. And they, I don't think they would do that for a 2-story. Maybe if it was a 5-story or something. But yeah, fantastic.
I was really hoping we'd find something cool inside the walls or anything. Nothing really.
You haven't found anything so far?
A couple old like posters and some postcards, stuff like that, but nothing.
Nothing like
cool,
super amazing that would make you kick your heels up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, take care, man.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
What a nice guy. He seems to he's the guy that said, unfortunately, they're knocking it down. So he seems kind of hip to this kind of stuff. You know, you heard him just saying he was hoping to find old stuff in the walls. So, you know, guys like that make you wonder sometimes, you know. Anyway, let me whip back around. I'll be right back. All right, so there you go. The former Danish Canadian Club, 11th Avenue, 7th Street, Southwest here in Calgary. Kind of right around the beginning of the former old warehouse district. And I should mention, we have looked at this building before in the past. It was a long, long time ago. And it was a part of a mudflood walkabout tour of the warehouse district. So this was one building out of dozens that we looked at in that video. So I'm glad I came by here today just by chance. Saw it in the state that it's in, and I was glad I was able to share it with you before it's gone. So as always, let me know what you think down below. Of course, do all the other stuff down here to help a fella out. And that is going to seal the deal here for Frankie. New West Reset. Until the next one, take care out there and have yourselves a good one. All right? Cheers. All right, I got a little bonus for you here, people. Still making my way home from the post office and the Danish Canadian Club. And I figured, since I was talking to that kind of construction fella about this place, the former Smith-built hat factory, is where they used to make Smith-built cowboy hats. That's Alberta's version of Stetson up here. And they've since moved to Inglewood, to another old building. But they're renovating this for something. The building's up for lease or sale. And they've knocked out, these used to be loading docks, I'm guessing. You can see where the old openings for the hoists were. There used to be sliding wooden doors here with steel or iron hardware. They've removed all of that, and they've removed there was glass windows in here. They took those out. They put plywood hoarding over it. They've removed that now, and they've put in this construction mesh. So now we can have a look inside here. I'm see if I can get you in here and see what's going on in this place. Right away, there's a piece of an old car in there. I don't know if my folk, there we go. That's an old car. How did that get in there? Why is that in there? There's tires stacked up over there. And I'm sorry about the focus on this. It's going to be tough. The ground in there is just dirt, mud, and bashed up aggregate and rocks. And I want to get you up on the beams up in the roof here. If I can get you in. No, just had you right in there. Look at the old wooden beams for the roof in here. I was talking about it with that construction guy. It's like shipbuilders came in here to put all those in. They've got wooden support posts in here as well. Sorry. walls seem to me like they're concrete block. And then the lower portion looks to me like it's poured concrete foundation. I don't remember what they say officially the build date was on this, so you can see the dirt floor all in there. You can see those wooden beams. And then there's a brick, some kind of brick thing in here with a brick chimney as well, right in there. A bunch more old wooden beams. So pretty neat old place. Not sure what it's going to be renovated and converted into. Let's see around the outside here. It's just all poured concrete. At least that's kind of what it looked like, or at least concrete blocks and poured concrete. Looks like there's a couple of different stages of stuff going on in there. Not entirely sure. By the way, I'm on the corner of 10th Avenue and 12th Street Southwest. Some kind of big concrete substructure in there. Actually, no, that's brick. It's just covered in schmutz. I can see a bit of brick right there. Peek it out. Oh, focus. There we go. Looks like the guys that were working in here earlier are done for the day. So just a big, massive, wide open space, a big old warehouse. Like I said, it used to be a cowboy hat factory. What it's going to turn into, I don't know. It's been for sale and or lease for, geez, I don't even know, at least 5 years, probably longer though. I don't even recall. But that wooden beam work in there is just, all the wooden trusses and everything is just outstanding. Massive beams. So I figured since how I was jaw-jacking about it, I thought I'd at least share it with you. Looks like they're making efforts to save this old thing. So I don't know, I guess I'll keep my eye on it, and I'll keep you posted on this thing as well, and see what the progression is like, and see what this thing eventually turns into. I know at one point they were proposing that it would be a restaurant or a brew house, tap house type restaurant. I don't know. I mean, it could be anything with this bare bone state. I mean, they could pretty much, you know, they could pour new flooring in there and everything. So, who knows? Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks for sticking around for the bonus. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, everyone. Cheers. Bye.